sex life, but like I said, he loved to have his booty played with. That part might not have been everyday.
Shit. It's okay, that's how the game is played. You thought you could be fired, but didn't know how to get paid.
The I Hate podcast show going down live and direct in my bedroom. Last episode, we talked about Shannon Sharpe. I had his back. I originally, for real, had his back. I was down for him, and everything was really good. I was going to, double down on anything anybody said. And then I hear his lawyer said, and I paid attention to, because I was watching the last episode, and I was like, did he offer him $10 million? Now, let me tell you what the problem with that is. The problem with that is you're just opening up yourself civil-wise to everybody coming out saying that you sexually assaulted them. Now, the crazy part about this is it starts with this girl. It's OnlyFans girl, and, you're going to try to wipe her clean. Black women wasn't having it because of the fact that not only was she of another persuasion, she was also a young kid when he met. Now, me being 51, there's a threshold of dating young. So if you wanted to date young and you're 50, Shannon, when all this happened, allegedly was 54, okay? When you hit 50 and go above, dating somebody that's 19 or messing with somebody that's 19 is mad weird. I'm talking as an old head. It's mad weird. So that's where you see the black women or the black, I'm just going to say it, the black women were like, we send this one out. She was the OnlyFans model, so it was kind of easy to, the biggest mistake Shannon Sharpe made was coming in and making that stupid video. So when you make that stupid video, you opened yourself to legalities. And with the legalities comes with more drama, just like this.
Sex life, but like I said, he loved to have his booty played with. That part might not have been everyday. But other than that, it was everyday sex. It was just sex.
Now, when you say booty played with, what you mean? How did that conversation come up about his booty being played with?
Oh, that conversation didn't even come up. I don't even know how it started. I don't recall. I think that I started.
What you mean?
But I think that I did it for him. But I don't remember how it started. But I don't think that he asked me to do it. I think that was me. I'll raise my hand up and say that was me.
Okay. And when you say booty plate with, so you put fingers and tongue in his butt?
Yeah.
So you know how to do a prostate massage?
Yeah. So it was all good, and he loved it. And there were times where I wondered if maybe he was bi, but then I would tell myself, no, that doesn't mean he's gay just because he likes his booty being played with. I would admonish myself for thinking that, and then I would just let it go.
Now, there's no solid proof that Shannon Sharpe is bisexual. Unless a man comes forward with credible proof, the claim remains unconfirmed. Michelle Evans stood by her accusation that Shannon forced herself on her, but she couldn't release more details because of the ongoing lawsuit.
I can't really get into that because of the lawsuit, but
okay.
I was telling him no. Just like she says, I was telling him no, and he did it anyway. He doesn't. I agree with her lawyer. He does not understand that you can have sex with him as many times as you want, but when you tell him no, when he forces himself on you, then that's a no, and that's
Okay. I understand that. I respect your lawsuit. You've given us a lot here.
Lot. Now, this was a 19-year-old girl. This is another victim that's speaking about this on another podcast. And I saw this, and I was like, wait a minute. Well, it kind of goes in the line to where the freaky stuff he likes, okay? So the freaky stuff that he likes to do has been made public by the 19-year-old girl, now 22, 23 years old. Now this other lady comes out. It's gonna turn into a Diddy situation without the crime. Well, here's the thing that bothers me. The criminal side of it is if this happened recently in the last 5 years, statute of limitations in LA, I believe, is 7 years or up above. I could be wrong. I'll check as I'm editing this video and I'll redact it if it's wrong. But you got, why not go the criminal route first? So that's where it makes me question and make me be on Shay Shay's side because of the fact that it may just be a shakedown. It could be a money grab. Busby's involved. We already know what kind of person he is. He's an ambulance chasing lawyer here in Houston. We know who he is down here, but he's in everybody else's business, everywhere else. He going for that dollar, y'all, and it's a shakedown. What happens? You go to a celebrity and you say, "Look, we got this, that on you. We can make this all go away if you give us this amount of money." Shay Shay's lawyer said, "Oh, well, we already went and offered the girl $10 million. I'm talking about the first victim. Now she's suing for $50 million. But there's no criminal charges in process right now. Because I think this all happened within the last 3 years. Okay, so now this one's a little bit older. This one, that lady, I don't even know her name, but they started talking about her everywhere. And I was like, Lord have mercy. So here's the girl talking.
2002. And we dated until the 2010 incident. And then it came to abrupt end because I wanted, we were arguing and he was threatening me and stuff like that after, but I didn't see him again after he me. So I had said no. And I said no, even though I was thinking that. And so it was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard.
Now, I'm not going to sit up here and victim blame because that's not the part of the show. But what I will say is if it's really hard and it's real horrible, why wait so many years? It wasn't like, there's nothing that shows that he's violent as far as if you do this, if you do that, I'm going to kill you and all this other stuff. We haven't yet to hear that yet. So again, I will redact if that does come out and they're saying, yeah, he threatened your life and stuff. That's the difference. But then again, going to the police is an option. Especially if you're a grown woman. Now, this is a grown woman. And I don't know her name, and I didn't look it up because I didn't feel it was fair to put her name out there like that on my platform. So, but if you look it up, that's for your records. But for me, I'm just going by the stories. And I'm like, when you start going back, you start seeing the old interviews of Club Shay Shay. And it was like these celebrities were warning him because they knew what he was doing. Okay? Like with Monique.
You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Told you. I told you. You ain't tell me shit.
And then Cat Williams, who broke the internet on his show, kind of told him like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And now all this stuff is coming out because he already reached a plateau. Like at 100 million, you got people that don't even know who Shannon Sharpe is or don't even know who he was prior to the podcast game. And now he's reached a plateau where his football career is behind him. Like that doesn't even matter anymore. Let's see what my man Dr. Umar got to say about this.
Allegedly told Shannon, let's back up. She sent Shannon a text, Art, and she said, I need $10,000. She sends Shannon a PayPal link for $10,000. Uncle Shay Shay says, I don't hit the Cash App. I got 10 grand for you when I see you. Gabriella says, I need it now. I'm broke. Uncle Shay Shay said, I'm not sending you no money electronically. 10K when I see you. So guess what she does, Art? Gabriella tells Shannon, take a picture of the 10,000 and text it to me. Guess what she was doing, Art? When she asked Shannon Sharpe to send her a picture of the $10,000, she was setting him up right then. She was setting him up with the 10K. What do I mean, Art? Prostitution is illegal in Clark County, Nevada. Prostitution is illegal in most states. So, the reason she wanted Shannon Sharpe to send her a picture of the money so she could have him arrested for solicitation of prostitution. She plays dirty, brother. She plays dirty. She was lining up her ducks already when she said, send me a... What black man you know, Art, going to send a 19-year-old OnlyFans snow bunny a picture of $10,000? You know what that looks like? It looks like I'm paying you for sex. That's prostitution. Puffy is being accused of that. R. Kelly was convicted of that. And the other thing she tried to get him on, Art, is the Mann Act. The Mann Act is a federal law that makes it illegal to transport women across state lines for purposes of sex. When Shannon Sharpe relocated to Las Vegas from Los Angeles, she followed him. When Shannon Sharpe relocated from California to Nevada, she followed him. If she could show that she was paid to cross state lines to have sex with this ex-NFL superstar, he could be accused of breaking federal law. See, the Mann Act, Art, was created in 1910. And guess why the federal government created the Mann Act? To try to incarcerate the first black heavyweight champion, Jack Johnson. Remember, Jack Johnson was our first popular snow bunny hopper, right? He was the first black man who openly, even before it was acceptable, openly ran around the world with white girls. And so the U.S. Congress, 2 years after he became heavyweight champion of the world, 2 years after Jack Johnson became heavyweight champion of the world, the U.S. Congress created the Mann Act. He became champion in 1907, 1908. They passed the Mann Act in 1910. And by the way, Art, the Mann Act is also known as the White Slave Traffic Act. The White Slave Traffic Act. So she tried to get Shannon Sharpe to send her a picture of the money, Art, so she could get him arrested for prostitution, state charge in Nevada, and so she could get him arrested on the Mann Act, Traffic Act, federal crime. She was playing dirty. But Shannon didn't fall for it. So guess what she does? She decides, I'm going to record the next sex act that we have.
And any of you brothers that's always been in the streets, especially Gen X's, we come from a generation of not cell phones, no pictures on the cell phone, videos on the phone and stuff like that. This is what we had. We had chirps, we had two ways, and we had the pager, right? So when we called you on the payphone, even though we had cell phones, if you were doing dirt, you never used a cell phone because that could be traced. Payphone can't be traced. Conversations are different. Okay, so when your conversations are different, you don't. Going back to the Gabriella thing, she kept mentioning his name. I'm hanging up the phone. You keep calling my name. Keep calling my name. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I got to go. And I'm out. Because I already know it's either the call's being recorded or it's a setup. I don't care what you look at it as, okay? So I don't think it's the case that he's like a nasty mouth. Pause. But he is doing stuff that they're going to try to hang him for in this. And the one thing I do agree with Dr. Omar is the Jack Johnson situation, because I remember reading about this years ago and how he would. There was nobody that could beat him up. There was nobody that could beat him up. Nobody could take him down. He was parading with these women, and I remember the Mann Act because I remember reading about it. So, that's a conversation for another time. But
Wait, there's more.
As a white girl who has dated black guys since the age of 15, I feel like you guys need my perspective on this Shannon Sharpe shit, because everything I'm seeing is like white women are fetishizing black men. Like the Shannon Sharpe stitch, like the girl said something about, I want your black baby, right? I've had black men come to me and say, I want you to have my black baby. Not, I want you to have my baby. That's the acceptable response. No, I want you to have my black baby. And I have had black men ask me to say very derogatory things in bed. Yeah. So part of it is not that white women are fetishizing black men. It's like the opposite. And I feel like this isn't being talked about, and I don't want to get any hate for this, guys, because this is my personal experience, but I've had more black men than not mention race in our relationship as like a kink. I don't know. I don't even know if that's like the right way to describe it. But there are some black men in this world that I think like want, I don't know if they want to reenact. I don't know if it's like a power trip of like, I don't know.
We know what you're saying.
I just feel like that piece is important to this puzzle.
Yep.
Nah. I got it from you. No. Now you're grouping all black men into the equation that we fantasize about great culture and doing stuff to white women that doesn't. No. I can't even accept that thought, and I'm going to defend my own because I am a black man. Okay, so I don't have fetishes of tying women up. I don't have fetishes of dominatrix or BSDM or any of that stuff. So to group everybody, it makes us look again like a monolith. And if one dude is a freaky, he can be that. So you talk about Kells, Diddy, and possibly Sharpe, allegedly. You name 3 stars, and now you're blanketing them over the whole community, which is stupid. And the fact that she's talking like that and saying, oh, yeah, that's... Lord, I'm telling you, listen. Are we done with this Shannon Sharpe stuff? Of course not. Of course we're not. We're not done with it. But we got to move on. We got another segment here. It is the I Hate podcast. Now you see why I hate podcasts. This is the I Hate podcast. We're gonna follow up on Shannon. Okay, we're gonna follow up because I think this is gonna be a night to remember, because that's just crazy to me, right? All right, we be right back.
Facts most people don't know about America. A U.S. citizen is a subject of the District of Columbia. A national is a free American loyal to the land, not the corporation. Citizens must obey codes, statutes, and regulations that change every political season. Nationals are only bound to common law and the Constitution, rights that don't expire or bend. Citizens are presumed at war under emergency powers. Nationals live in peace protected by treaties and law. Citizens need permission to travel, work, build, marry, and sometimes even speak. Nationals move by right, not privilege. No license required to live life itself. Citizens are taxed on their labor, a form of involuntary servitude hidden in plain sight. Nationals only owe taxes by lawful contracts, not by silent coercion. Citizens are seen as wards of the state, infants in law. Nationals are seen as competent men and women, full heirs to the republic. Citizenship is voluntary, but the system banks on your ignorance to keep you enrolled. Nationality is your birthright, but you must declare and record it properly to live freely. A citizen's ID is evidence that they are debtors and trustees to the United States Corporation. A national's declaration is evidence they are a living principle, not the fiction. Citizenship bonds you to maritime law, commercial war on land. Nationality is rooted in the law of the soil, God's law, natural law, and sovereign law. Citizens hope for freedom. Nationals embody it. One signs contracts they never read, the other writes contracts themselves. Choose wisely, slave by presumption, sovereign by declaration.
I hate podcast show. Look, the N-word's been tossed around as a derogatory and a term of endearment for years. Now, there was a time I was on the radio, and I can tell you, I was on 104.3 Hit FM, and I said this on the air. I wish I would have recorded it so I could give you context on what I'm about to say. The N-word, this is at a radio station in El Paso, Texas. And I just noticed like a bunch of Hispanics using the N-word as this just flows out their mouth. Same way that us black people talk, I use it. But I use it because I was conditioned, and it's just a condition that I'm trying to phase out as I grow older, so I won't be one of those old-ass men when I turn 60 calling everybody the N-word for no reason, right? But I said this on the radio on a majority Hispanic market. I said, y'all can have it. Y'all can have this word. Y'all can use it. Y'all can have it. I don't, you're not reflecting towards me. You're reflecting towards ignorance, and that's cool. And you can give me whatever reason why it's okay to use the word, because you don't even understand the origin of it. The number one excuse I got was that, well, black people use it when you ain't black. So stay out of black folks' business and we're okay. That's it. We don't be in nobody else's racist business telling them what they need to do and how we adapt the culture. You get what I'm talking about? But it's either here or there. But it comes up to this story right here about a grown-ass woman with her baby in a park talking about calling a 5-year-old the N-word because he supposedly went into the diaper bag or whatever, and he was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Did you call him the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say. Nobody digging to your That little kid, you call him the little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, and the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know that's a hate speech, and you can be that.
I don't give a.
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that. What the internet has to say about.
2025 number. Get down. Sounds of the funky drummer. Remember that song? Fight the power. Came out in 1989. Fight the power. Don't mean a goddamn thing in 2025. I'll tell you why. This lady did this, right? And thanks to the current climate, as I would like to say, the current climate of American culture, which a lot of us black folks talk to our grandparents, talk to our great-grandparents, talk to people like way older than us that we get our history from. We don't get our history from a school book. Everybody else needs to do that. We don't get our history from a school book. We get it from our family. And one thing that I learned is during slavery, or not even slavery, after slavery, when slavery was abolished, the slave owners got reparations. They got reparations. We were promised 40 acres and a mule and didn't get nothing, but the slave owners get reparations because they lost their slaves. So go back to the culture of the N-word. The one thing that popped out to me that was kind of ill was you act like one. What is acting like an N-word? What does that mean? But wait, if we said the other thing, and we never, one thing I did trip out about black folks is we don't trip on the what ifs unless you're just an idiot. I think idiots always do the what ifs. Well, what if this or what if that? No. But that's indulge and say, what if the roles were reversed? It's always a problem when the roles were reversed because now people like me need to get over the fact that slavery exists and we need to erase, forgive and forget. That's the culture, right? Our culture is being stolen from us every day and we're supposed to be okay with it. But because it's a few other black folks over there that want to invite everybody to the goddamn cookout. Because they said something. Remember Rachel Dolezal? Always remember Rachel Dolezal. Always. Because y'all invited her to the cookout. And made her the head of the NAACP. So, with that being said, this story doesn't end with just that video. So, remember when I talk about reparations, right? Reparations with how things are handled within the two-color community, right? Well, so imagine, reparations is one way when you get it from the government. Imagine you get it from your own people, right? And so she called this little boy the N-word. The little boy then come to find out he's autistic, which I'll get into in a minute. This is where our country's at right now. And if you're colorblind, and like I said, I don't want to make it a race thing, but unfortunately, I didn't have to do this. They do it for us.
See here, Shiloh is like our Harriet Tubman. Thank you, Shiloh. Not with all these fucking charges, she ain't. More like Harriet the Spy. So many of my mutuals are shocked by the comments under that lady that's been arrested for drinking and driving. What's her name? Shiloh with her ghetto ass. They shocked by some of the comments from white men and white women, you know, about how, you know, they want their race back. It's time to fight back and all that. Y'all scared. Y'all showing y'all weakness. Y'all letting the world know that y'all really can't take anything that ain't, well, and then 2030 coming too. This is all fear. From the White House to the crack house.
He ain't never told a lie. But, you know what? They're doubling down, like for real.
The fact that we have brown people trying to take away white people's rights in a white country when we have the Constitution and freedom of speech, and they come from their countries where you can be locked up for hate speech. This is just disgusting. This is everything wrong with immigrants. This is everything wrong with brown people in our fucking country. And this is why we need to kick them all out. Because they not only come to our country and our children, but they also come to our country and try to impose their third world religion and their third world laws on us. This is a white country for white people. These people are not welcome.
Fortunately, she's just saying the quiet part out loud. A lot of them think and feel the exact same way as her. And it's sad, but it is what it is. They feel and think that way. And if you think I'm lying, the woman that called the 5-year-old autistic black boy the N-word with the hard ER multiple times on camera and stands on it and is still standing on it, she has it's not a GoFundMe, but it's like a GoFundMe. It's just a different name or whatever. It's up there. Almost $500,000 they've raised for her. That's a lot of donations from them. There's a lot of them.
So I came up to the realization that it pays to be a racist. They done figured it out. They figured it out, and we slept on it. We definitely slept on becoming racist ourselves, even though it's highly improbable that we can become racist because, you know, we have that thing called systemic, and we don't have any power, and and stuff like that. But look, my man right here kind of like sums it up. It does pay to be a racist, especially if you're in this climate and you cry victim, and now because the census report, because nobody pays attention to census, right? But they're saying was what I just played, by 2030, that population is dwindling because of mixing. That's why they're cutting programs and then they want these colored people to have more babies and stuff like that. They play the long game, real talk. They played 100-year game. What we're worried about right now. Pay attention. Just pay attention.
Being racist these days sure pays a lot of money. Shiloh Hendrix called a small child the N-word at a playground in Minnesota, and she is now raking in $325,000 on a GoFundMe type site. $325,000. She's crying foul because she's saying now she's being exposed on the internet and her data has been breached and shared with everybody after a man videotaped her on a playground calling a child the N-word because that child supposedly took something from her son's diaper bag. Okay, so this was a 5-year-old or so child that apparently took something from a diaper bag, and you get to call them a name like that instead of just saying, "Hey, buddy, that's not yours, buddy. I need that back." You call them the N-word, and you think that's okay? And the fact that she got $325,000 for it, if that wasn't bad enough, look at the comments on this site. That immigrant demon gave you a huge gift. Can't let those people win. And they get worse. They get worse. Saying this word must become common again, such that no one can ever be singled out for it. And we must secure the existence of our people. She is making all this money on a site called Give, Send, Go. Shiloh Hendrix is profiting off racism to the tune of $325,000. And the people in the comments can't get enough of it. This is Trump's America, where we will set up sites and give them hundreds of thousands of dollars for being racist. Racist is bad enough, but racist towards a little child who just maybe took something out of your diaper bag? He's a fucking kid. Just say, "Hey, dude, no, I need that back." But to do that and then to make money off it, and people are loving it and saying our race must continue, we must be able to use that word again. This is absolute. I'm just like in shocked disbelief. I can't even believe this shit. This is next level horse shit. Shiloh Hendrix, I don't know what to say.
It's diabolical. It's out of control. It's nasty work. Any phrase you want to use, this is where we're at in our America right now in 2025. And this is the one time that I would say it's appropriate that my culture just dances it away.
By your seat, let your body move. Cowboys and cowgirls filling the town. Ain't sipping on moonshine, fire barrel rolling. I'ma get behind that thing, girl, and hold it, hold it, hold it.
Anytime I come on the block, just know one thing. I ain't coming on the block to bullshit. I'm coming on the block to take over. And y'all know what that means. If you a street hustler, you know what that means. When I come on the block, I came to take over.
Telling you, we need to make a movie about this. Houston, what's good? Look, let me explain this part. The plot is thickening as we keep going, and we keep going. First it started with arson, then a fallout, and then this, that, and the third. Now, that's why that place was so packed.
Federal prosecutors say the turkeys have come home to roost. They say for years, Lyndell Price has tried to keep his hands clean of crimes, paying off others to do the dirty work. This morning, an FBI agent testified that Price paid $1,400 to have his ex-business partner's bar 5015 blown up nearly 5 years ago. You've likely seen the surveillance video by now showing masked men pouring gas all over the patio before the fire in June of 2020 that then caused an explosion and destroyed that building. Lyndell Price is the accused mastermind behind it that paid others to carry it out. The why, according to federal investigators, because the bar owner allegedly told the FBI agents He initially planned to bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. When Bar 5015 started selling crawfish from the turkey leg hut supplier, the 5015 owner told investigators that Lynn Price called. He was screaming, he was hollering, and this whole plan came to light after a co-defendant, John Lee Price, who is not related, got arrested on federal drug trafficking charges in Mississippi. Lee Price allegedly confessed to starting that fire and told federal agents about others' roles in that scheme. And then investigators found phone records that showed him talking with Lynn Price around the explosion. Lee Price allegedly told investigators about other criminal activity at the once popular restaurant. He would bring truckloads of hydro marijuana from California, he told them, which then got sold at the restaurant in custom branded packaging.
That's why that place was popping. Man, come on. Lord, this is, they're not going to release them, but I might have to go to the county and see if I can get the rights to the film, man, and write a screenplay, because this is a great, and this is great. That's all I can say. This is great, and I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot going on, but Texas needs a good story sometimes. Now, this is all alleged. He can get acquitted, but even if he gets acquitted, it's still a bomb-ass story if whoever made this up, okay? So I wish the press the best for Lynn Price, but I named this episode, What's Triggering? The reason why I named it that was because this episode is kind of out of the realm of what I usually do, and this is a lot of trigger segments that I did, but it just needs to be said. And it's not, I don't have a dog, I don't have a dog in this fight, you know what I'm saying? So all I care about is putting out this content and do it. And if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe, hit the little bell on the side, because I do stuff like this.
Fighting it'll make you choke, you can't provoke, you can't cope, you should have broke, because I ain't no G.
And I like to cook. Sunday fun day. It's not so fun. Lakers lose. Just by anyway. I'm making baked chicken, but I just wanted to show y'all I made my own shake and bake type thing. You see that? Doesn't have no cornmeal in it either. Okay, so I got that. I'm gonna shake this up. I'm gonna shake this bad boy up a little bit. Got the chicken breast in here. Let's shake this bad boy up. Shake it, 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 shake it like a Polaroid picture. All right, there it is. So this is my little shake and bake recipe with pretzels. So I call it pretzel chrome chicken. There's the chicken. Look at that. See how that breading looks good? Alright, let's fix this bad boy up. Okay, this is dinner. Got a little bit of leftover chili. And then, let me put that stuff Kiki got me in. This is off the chart hot sauce right here. I'm only supposed to put a little bit. You're supposed to wash your chicken prelim with vinegar and lemon juice, okay? Not with Dawn or any soap powder. I apologize for posting that yesterday. Just wanted to let y'all know there was, even though the dish she made look good, I ain't touching that shit. This is why you don't go to people's house to eat. You know what I mean? I love to cook and I love to DJ, but I also have a loud ass mouth and I talk a lot of shit. And that's just how it goes, okay? So again, another episode. We go back to interviews starting next week. I got a lot lined up and I'm excited about it. And coming up in a couple of weeks, I have a huge announcement. If everything works out the way I want it to, it's gonna be dope. And we about to take over the world one step at a time, okay? Like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. And this is the I Hate Podcast show with your boy, Heff. Bye.
The league laughed at Shedeur Sanders. Now he's number one in the league. So the NFL let Shedeur Sanders fall to the 5th round. Now he's outselling every rookie in jersey sales before he even thrown a pass. Fanatics just confirmed it. Shedeur has the number one selling jersey out of the entire 2025 draft class. Over Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, even Cam Ward. 5th round to the top of the league in a week? That's wild. Now people thought he was all flash, too Hollywood, just Deion's kid, but this isn't a story about hype. This is about business, branding, and betting on yourself, and Shedeur is playing chess while the rest of these rookies are trying to still go viral. He had every reason to fold, drop way lower than expected, took heat from the media, doubted by scouts, but instead of whining, he flipped it into a money move. Now he's got the league buzzing, fans buying in, and teams already regretting passing on Shedeur. This is what happens when swagger meets skill, when legacy meets media dominance. Shedeur has been built for this spotlight, and now he's shining brighter than all the so-called top picks. And if you think this ends with jersey sales, nah, this is just phase 1. Wait till he hits the field, goes viral again, and the league scrambles to explain how they all missed.
Heff.